low. I think you said that manslaughter wouldn't be considered a win, and I think manslaughter would be considered a win based on the starting point. And
the two to 20.
The 5 to 99 with the L on the end of it. All that is in the possibility of the M1, right? So if convicted of the M1, it's the 5 to 99, where that's anything in between 5 all the way up to 99, right? And then
Correct.
plus the L is lingering around there too, right? And now I think with the manslaughter, I think that gives him a range of 2 to 20. And I think if I know the state of Texas the way I think I know the state of Texas, he might get from 7 to 12 on that sentence.
Ooh. 7 years is too much for that young man.
I think the same thing, but I'm saying it's best case scenario, best option on the board, because before the trial, the DA 9 times out of 10 approached them with the plea, right? And 9 times out of 10, that plea that he approached them with was like 55, 65 years, big dog.
No.
Woo. Yes.
No.
That sounds like a crazy plea.
No. Right. So would
but because the L is lingering, that's why it's so high. That's why he went to if he was offered the manslaughter and plea, I think he would have taken.
Well, but that's one of the games that prosecutors play in order to get Negroes to settle, right? Or to plead. And so they hit you with the big one, right? And so it's really just basic psychology. But it's
I
funny to me
understand that. That's what we
the
saying the same
demographic
thing.
that they're able to use that against is the same demographic that will call a psychology degree a basket weaving degree. But it's been a lot of y'all spending a lot of years behind prison because you lacked a basket weaving degree.
I think we saying the same thing. I think it's like they start high with the plea, which is because they saying, and from their standpoint, they're saying you can't get around the fact that you are the reason for the dude being dead, right? And so that's why they start high in the plea. And then now the lawyer tell him, the defense attorney tell him, hey man, we can beat these people, and we can get these, we can get this, we can beat these people, and worst case scenario, it will be a manslaughter. And this the way the attorney went in and gave it to him. You get what I'm saying? Because they know 9 times out of 10 he wasn't going to plead to no 55, 65 years. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey, Cody, so Carmelo Anthony has a public defender from this.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he has a public defender.
Yes, he does. From what I read,
that man is not no public
from what I
defender.
read,
he owns his own law firm, I think.
Right. The hell you talking about?
No, but hold on. Yes, he owns his own law firm, but he's still a public defender. He's representing him as a public defender. That's what I saw.
Per bono?
Right.
But that's
All
not
right.
public defender,
The
though.
family of Carmelo Anthony has officially retained. Do you know what retain means?
Yeah.
The services of attorney Mike Howard.
Yeah, that's not a public defender.
His family previously retained private counsel, but he was later declared indigent and appointed public representation after an exhaustive private trial.
So pro bono is not a public defender either, though.
Right.
Yeah,
that just means that he decided to take it free of charge.
Right.
He like
Sharon,
doing activist work or something like that.
Okay, so just to confirm what I'm saying.
Good day, cuz. How you doing?
Yo, peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. First and foremost, Cuzzo, can you hear me? Am I coming through clear?
We can hear you good.
Yeah, man. Let me take my shoes off before I come into your room, Cuzzo.
The
Peace
long-winded
and love
himself.
to the queen, the supreme goddess, PH diva, and then
Peace and
peace and
love.
love
We
to all the
missed you,
queens in the
Brownsville.
chat, man. What'd you say? What'd you say, Queen?
I said peace and love. We missed you.
Oh yeah, miss you too, miss you too. Likewise. Peace and love to all the queens in the chat, man. Anya Bracy, the SBG First Lady, Robin MDB, Shiesty Bum, Bomb, Cherry Juice, Rogue C, It's Me, Dr. G, Sexy Red TV, Conversations with MJ, Miss Jalen, Genesis, The Voice of Venus, The Verbal Assassin, Renee, Keisha G, Kim West, um, Elite Bell, Zoe, The Victorious One, Zero Tolerance,
Dang,
all
it
the
ain't no men in the
queens, man.
chat?
Conversations with MJ, all of y'all, man. Peace and love to y'all, man. I missed y'all. I hope y'all having a great summer. The start of it at least. And make sure y'all touch some sand, man, and enjoy yourself this summer. Peace and love to the kings as well. All the kings, man, on the panel in the chat. We can't forget about the kings. And my brother Mont, you got something to say, my brother? Because I know you kept trying to cut in there.
His name is
Oh
Montavious.
no, I was I don't mind number four. But no, I said it already. It wasn't nothing big.
Okay, my brother, but peace and love to you as well, man. I know you probably miss me too. Hope you have a great summer as well.
Y'all
Yeah,
petty.
man, ain't nothing like a long-winded Brownsville speech, So I've been waiting for another one. So
Yeah, man. But as far as the Carmelo Anthony trial situation, uh real brief on that. Um I'm praying for the best, man. Hoping for the best. But unfortunately, um, he's in this circumstance that I think Mont kind of alluded to it a little bit in terms of us being underrepresented when it comes to political actions that are in our best interest. And one of them happens to be the jury selection process, right? And I think you was asking a question, Cuzzo, how can we make a difference? What can we do in order to put our, self in a better position demographically? And I think that's one of the areas of opportunity that each and every one of us within our local jurisdictions can advocate for more representation for the jury selection process, right? The way you do that is you go to your county clerk's office, ask to review those public records in terms of selecting a jury, notices going out, who's showing up, who's not showing up, and actually go to your local courthouse, right? And start, you know, sitting in on those trials to see the makeup of the jury and how many of people that look like you are represented in the jury pool. Because I think one of the issues that I have, particularly with the Carmelo Anthony trial, is he's from a county in Texas. I believe it's called Collin County, right? And I believe almost 12% of Collin County is made up of Black people, but none of them are in the jury, right? So with the percentages, it seems to me that it should be at least one or two Black jurors who should be in a deliberation process right now determining innocence or guilt. However, he has zero, right? And that's a big problem for me. And I think that that's going to make the biggest difference in this outcome. And to look at precedent, there was a case in 2022, a stabbing case in a high school called Belton High School in Bell County, Texas. There was a white kid by the name of I think his name was Cason Allen or something like that. he got into a fight with a Hispanic kid in a high school bathroom, and he stabbed the kid. The kid died. The way that case turned out was he was found not guilty of murder one or
You said
manslaughter.
Casey Allen? You said Casey
Right.
Allen?
Right. But he was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide and subsequently sentenced to, I think, 10 years in prison. Right. So yeah, that's what it was. A white kid stabbed a Hispanic kid, and he, got sentenced to 10 years. So
and he went in there with the intent to do that.
Well, yeah, there's different circumstances, and
He had no intentions on actually fighting. He had every intent on stabbing that boy in that bathroom.
You're correct, my brother Cody, 100% correct. However, right, we all know that when it comes to the deliberation process, right, you want people that's in that room that can identify with the person that they're deciding future on, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the difference between Case and Allen, he had a whole bunch of people who looked like him, who could identify with him, who could, seemingly say, well, hey, this could be my son in this situation, right? Carmelo Anthony don't have that. So that's very alarming. And I think that's going to be the biggest difference when we actually get the verdict in. So
that's why. Hey, let me say this. That's why I was asking. In a realistic mindset, what would be considered a win for Carmelo, right? Because with based off of your premise, where you standing at on it, you kind of like see the effery in the situation, right?
Right. So I think the best case scenario, if I had to, I'm hoping for the best. I'm praying that that he gets a fair verdict of not guilty. That's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
However, if I was a betting man and I had to bet on it, I would say that they're probably going to convict him of either manslaughter or criminally negligent homicide.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. But well, Brownsville, would you consider either one of the two to be a win based on the parameters that fall under the M1?
No. Well, if we comparing it to being
one.
found of capital murder, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a win.
It's a win in that regard. But if he's sentenced to 10 years in prison, I don't think anyone who loves him, his family, his friends, anyone who had, hopes that he would actually be tried fairly, they won't consider that a win. They're going to consider that a loss, and a significant loss, right? So we have to take all of that into consideration. Now, the difference between the Case and Allen case and the Carmelo Anthony case is, in the Case and Allen case, there was records documenting that there was an ongoing dispute between those kids, right?
Yeah, I'm reading
there
now.
Yeah, weapons brandished before between those kids, and they had a ongoing dispute. With the Carmelo Anthony situation,
there was no dispute.
He was minding his business. He was talking to a friend who invited him to the tent, and these kids attempted to bully him out of the tent.
That's what happened. Yeah.
They say they all was friends with his little girlfriend though.
Eddie was his friend. Eddie was Carmelo's friend.
I damn near think the white boy was liking on the girlfriend, and he was in the white boy way on the cool. And like I say, I damn near think the white boy fell on this night, big dog, because
I don't think
if the boy was sitting down and never stood up, never moved, and he leaning over him, and
Carmelo admitted that he stabbed him though. That's the problem.
Yeah, he admitted that he was the cause of the result. But shit, I don't want to make all them standing around say they never saw him thrust the knife and stab him. Obviously, that white boy fell on that knife.
At Brownsville, the Allen case. Isn't he only going to have to do a third of it because they said it wasn't aggravated? This is from the 2022 case, right?
Right. So I mean, he's not gonna have to do much
Yeah, he's
time,
gonna have
but
to do like
still,
he's got to
right,
do like 3.5 years.
right. But
Oh, well, he
even
already
then,
hung.
even doing those 3.5 years, and then you got that felony on your record, that's I mean, it's it puts your future in it makes it very, very difficult for you to be successful. I mean, you can still
Not a
find
white man.
success, but it's a hindrance, right?
No, not
Right.
for a white
I mean, he's
man.
still going to be
Right,
he's going to be
but
limited.
PhD was correct.
He'll still be limited.
No, he
And for
won't.
him,
I mean, he going
he'll
straight
get
to
a second,
goddamn,
a third, a fourth opportunity
going
because
straight to
he's
nepotism.
white, right? But Carmelo Anthony is not going to be afforded that same privilege, which is my point as far as us in terms of black men, right? What we got to do a better job of is advocating for our best interest in terms of our children, right? You should be going to your county clerk's office, viewing those records in a jury selection process. You should be attending trials as much as you can so that you can understand what's happening demographically within your own community when it comes to these juries. Because let's be honest about this, right? Any one of our children at any moment could find ourselves in a similar situation, and then we would be going down to that courthouse praying for mercy,
Yeah,
praying
but
for grace.
I think niggas showed up. They just ain't picked none.
Well,
no, that's
and
that.
Yeah,
It was
they
three
did
women.
show up. Yeah, it
No,
was
it didn't. No, hold on. Let's be clear. So first of all, black men did not show up. Black women
right,
showed up. Hold
yeah.
right.
on.
Right.
Let's be clear.
No,
And,
no. Hold
hold,
on. Time the fuck out. I mean,
I'm not,
excuse my French, my English. But listen, big dog. Just because you basing that off the fact that they gave you that 3 women was taken off,
I'm going out
they
of
didn't tell you what the other 520 people were.
okay. So
Very
So
true.
what you saying is nothing.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm pretty sure they had black people could have chose. They
So
could
the
have
first thing
chose.
is, if do we know how juries are selected?
I
Right,
Yes,
do.
because
I've
they
been
I
call
on
do.
one.
you
Yes.
in. Okay, go ahead and tell them 561. Go ahead, baby.
No, I was just ask. I was just answering your question, but go ahead.
Just
Okay,
nah.
go tell them.
Say it. Sam, tell us now. Tell us you done been here. Now you want to be quiet. Go ahead, PhD. Well, you want me to tell the people.
So
Go tell the
they
people
call
you,
you
man.
in. When you check in, they usually start by having you fill out a questionnaire. They go and look at the results of that questionnaire, and then they strike a bunch of people based on the results of that questionnaire. So a lot of people aren't even going to make it past the first cut, right? I done showed up several times and gotten cut. And it could be your profession, right? Because they ask you stuff like that. It might be the area you live in, right? Anything that they think would keep you from being impartial, right? So once you make it past that cut, then you sitting in a room because they trying to see how many people gonna plead out of they docket. They expect most people to plead out, and so they trying to get to the final plea number so they'll know how many cases they gonna have to go. Then they start calling people in to a jury room, and they start asking you questions, and based on the answer to your questions you may be stricken. For example, the last time I was there, it was a traffic case, and this black man, look, he had been fighting this case for 3 years. I said, y'all leave that man alone and let him go home. But he had been fighting this case for 3 years. And so the question that got me disqualified was, have you had a ticket in the last year? It might have been year or 2 years or something like that. And that same day I was turning in my paperwork because I had to take a defensive driving course for a ticket I had got. So I raised my hand and they said, okay, everybody who raised their hand can go. Right. And so they have several questions like that. They'll ask, oh, well, if somebody doesn't uh take the stand. If a defendant doesn't take the stand, do you think that's an indication of guilt? Now, what I'm gonna tell you is they like the people who say yes initially, and then when they explain the legal concept to you, then you go back and say no. So black people, if you want to get on the jury, when they ask that question, say yes first. When they explain it to you, then go, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh no, I wouldn't take that. They like that type of stuff. Um,
So
and so that's
Queen,
how you
so
get
can
chosen
you
for a jury. Go ahead.
right? Can you also elaborate on how a lot of those questions are discriminatory in nature, right? And they are designed to weed out potential jurors who may you know uh be more aligned with a not guilty verdict.
Right. Right. So like I was saying, certain professions will get you disqualified. They don't want you on there because you probably think in a certain way that might make you more uh favorable or more sympathetic to the defense or whatever. Because both sides get 3 strikes that they call them preemptive strikes. And so they can strike you for any or no reason. Now that's a lot of times where the discrimination is. They use it in
Yeah.
those preemptive strikes because you have to, the other attorney can come and say, hey, I need you to articulate a non-discriminatory reason for striking that person, but they could say whatever and the judge will go along with it. So for example, in Carmelo's case, the 3 women black women that they struck were all educators. And so the prosecutor struck them because he thought that them being educators, they may not be able to be impartial because these are students. It happened at a school event, etc. Right? So when he struck the black women, the defense attorney said, "Hey, I need you to articulate a reason." He said because they're educators, they may not be able to be impartial. But now I think if I'm not mistaken, at least one, but my understanding is several of the white women who made the jury are actually educators, right? And so we don't have a problem with educators. They can be on the jury, but if they a black educator, because we think that black person, period, is going to be more sympathetic, we want to get rid of them.
But this is a failure of the defense lawyer too, though. Because if you understand, first let me back up. Shout out,
No, it's
hello to
not, because
everybody.
when they articulate that non-discriminatory reason, it's up to the judge to either agree or disagree, or either accept it or not accept it. And so
Well,
in that case, he accepted it.
well, it's two different because you also can strike them for cause too, right? Like if
Right,
you
but
have,
I'm talking
hold on,
about preemptory
I know,
strikes.
I know, PhD. So the point that I was making is that if we was overrepresented in that courtroom, he only get 3, right? So
Mhm.
if I had a chance to be more present, had more black people, even though he can get rid of 3, he can't get rid of all of us. That's why I'm
That's
saying,
impossible math, though. How you gonna be more present at 12% of the whole population?
Well, hold on. You
But
got to
we don't
understand how
even
well,
Collin
know
County
how
looks,
they
though.
invited
hold on,
people
hold
to
on.
be jurors for this. I mean, we aren't even sure that they could have made it up to where it wasn't hardly no black people, called in.
Right.
No,
And that's my
So
Diva.
look,
point. And
let's,
see,
But
and
Diva,
hold on, hold
not
on one
that's
second.
not how
Hold on one
county
second.
count.
Hold
That's
on
not
one
how
second.
Colin works. Okay,
Hold on one second. Shadow,
Boy,
because
shut up and don't tell me about how nobody worked.
I'm in
what
Collin County.
I
what
don't
Diva
care
said is
because what's
100%
on
All right.
paper
correct.
oftentimes ain't what's happening in actuality. So, like I said,
I'm,
shut up
I'm
telling
just
me
telling.
anything.
I'm just trying to help y'all understand. Me sitting in the jury, I seen black people raise their hands so they got to work, they can't be there, and they was giving excuses not to be there. I wasn't sitting on this jury, but I'm just saying I have seen in my past experience that
Yeah,
people
but that
make
wasn't
excuses.
for a murder. You sat on a murder and watched people say, I gotta go to work. Most people are
Yes.
interested in get invested in those type of things, big dog. You talking about
Okay.
In
traffic
Texas, they
tickets
pay you for that.
and misdemeanor ass cases. I'm saying for a murder trial, most
Most people
Americans get invested in that shit.
Okay.
Cody, in Texas,
you breaking up, dog.
all you got to do is submit your jury duty paperwork. Your jury
Is
duty
that,
paperwork, you literally get paid to go to. You'll get paid to go to jury duty for the entire time. In
no,
Collin
but
County,
so
on the form, on the jury selection form, fuck it, y'all know better.
no, I'm telling you because you don't even know what type of you don't know what the case is when they start asking you these questions. The goal is
No,
for
you
them to
don't.
be.
It's just a green piece of paper they send you in the mail saying, "Hey, you've been summoned for jury duty." And there's
I'm talking
10 reasons why
past
you can say
that.
you're not going anyway. At the boy there,
Okay.
you got it.
You breaking up? I can't hear you.
No, I figured y'all got it. Figured we were talking about the Texas boy there for Collin County. I'm like, hey, I know this experience. I know what the paper looks like. I know when it gets disqualified. All of that. Been there, done it.
You haven't been on no jury duty with no fellas. What are you talking about?
I don't even. Okay, so let me go ahead and correct some real quick facts. Because I'm sick of your dumbass niggas bringing this shit up. My felonies have actually been overturned by now. Y'all wouldn't know that because I don't talk about this dumbass shit. But the reason why it's not relevant is because it's not relevant to this conversation. So yes, I actually have a fucking big uh, jury selection sheet paper in my fucking living room right now.
And you sat on the jury?
I've been on a jury, nigga. I'm almost 40. Yes.
Okay. I just asking questions. I don't know why you so hostile today.
Y'all keep
It's
calling that
part of
No,
the
man a
it's
culture.
clear why
felon.
I'm hostile.
Y'all keep calling that man a felon.
That's what he told us. Y'all be mad when we ask.
No,
We
no,
say
no.
what you're saying.
It's just because there's things I haven't clarified because I don't need to. But again, it was irrelevant to this because I know the fucking everything Diva said was accurate because that's a void air process. I've been through it 4 different times in my life, including when I had to go to trial myself.
Okay, well let's go. Let's ask the $1 million question. Did you let them out? Did you do not guilty, Shadow? Or you
Don't answer that, Shadow. Don't answer that. Don't
six
answer
five
that.
one? I'm about to kick you out, nigga. Don't tell her not to answer
Kick
them
me out.
questions.
I'll come back.
Nigga,
If I
you
really
ain't gonna
wanted a
come
conversation, I'll
back.
pay to come back. Ain't no pressure. Shit.
I ain't got a tank top on. Talking about don't kick me off. What's wrong with you?
But Shadow, don't answer that. I wouldn't answer that.
It's irrelevant, but because I base it based on the information at the time. And unless there's something solid, I don't convict anybody because if it's circumstantial. That's just my belief, though. I'm not going to convict you unless the evidence they have you on camera, no face, no case. Like I have to see you have committed the crime, and they have to have evidence for that.
So you don't
So
believe in
you
circumstantial
Hey,
wouldn't.
but you
evidence?
know what's crazy about this case though? You know how scared and fearful crackers be in life, period. And they gonna find a way to say there's no way this boy was scared. You hear me? These crackers scared of everything. Lock doors when you walk past them. Tuck their purses when you walk past. But this boy, there's no way he was in fear of his life. You hear me? But this cracker bitch walking out the HEB, she's in fear of her life because a black man walked past her. You hear me? It's watch how stupid this shit play out. That's how dumb and for black people to sit back and just go along with this whole ass shit. That shit is crazy to me, big dog.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that we can say that a child was not in fear when multiple people was approaching him while he was sitting down. Like I think the fear argument can be argued. They say there's no way. I don't know what you saw
The
or what you
law
heard.
man got all this equipment on, invest in shit, but if he walk up on a nigga driver door, he in fear and he gonna pull his pistol, his hand on his weapon. You hear me? There's no win in this shit. You hear me? These whole ass crackers just play the game, and then black police officers get on the shit and join along and play the game with them. And then it's in every scenario, every situation. We can't win because once they get our own in that shit, you get what I'm saying, big dog? It just really ain't no win. Ain't nobody in that motherfucker fighting for the us.
Is it me?
What you mean?
But yeah.
Okay, so he sound normal to everybody else.
I can hear him. Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah.
Okay,
he
Yeah,
sound
no,
just
we can hear him.
like he from Texas, normal Texas.
I know you ain't talking Georgia.
I sound like a northern Georgian. Nah, a little bit less than normal,
No, I
but
don't
I
know.
say a
That
little
shit
less
sound
than
like a
normal.
Mississippi and
normal.
Louisiana worse.
Nah,
Yeah,
but not.
but we ain't. We got to look at this. That's the way I view it, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's crazy.
No, I agree. I agree that we trying to argue that he couldn't be scared of his life, and that's just crazy. Everything from the size to how they approach, even even they said in the video they seen 4 guys. See, it wasn't just him and his brother. 2 other guys entered the tent with him. So he came as a posse, as a gang. Like, it makes sense.
Hello,
And
everybody. How y'all doing?
Yo, what's up?
Hey,
what's
Bob.
what's up,
Hey,
Bob?
hey,
Good
hey,
city, bum bum.
hey, Bracy. Hey, everybody.
Yo.
I spoke to everybody in the chat. Hey, Brownsville. I came up to say hi to Brownsville because I miss you.
Yeah, peace and love, Queen. I miss you too. Hopefully you have a great summer.
You too. You too. I just wanted to say that in all of my 80 years of living, 800 years, okay, 800 years of living, I ain't never been on no jury. They won't accept me. So I guess just because you're 40 something don't mean that you sat on the jury. Most Americans have never get on a jury. You know what I mean? And they won't accept my black guy. I be lying and everything, be trying to get on somebody's jury, and they just won't let me. I one day went in there trying to look like a white woman, an old white woman, with wrinkles and shit. I had a cane and I was bent over, and they still wouldn't accept my ass. It's because my butt gave it away. I always look like a black woman, which is so. I don't
Yeah,
know
that's
why they accept me. What you think it is, man?
well. I think that they want people that mind can be easily changed, based on our conversation. Like, even how their questions are set up, they say, "Hey," they asking questions that you are on one side, then they give you law, then you say, "Since it's the law, that mean that it's right." And I think a lot of black people get edged out because we believe it. We believe it. Whatever forget what the law say. We still believe what is right is right.
Now I just came up here really though, because I remember this conversation when this incident really happened. And some of you were on the other side. What made you change your stance today?
Call it out. Who's on the other side?
I'm always with the niggas.
It was most of y'all. Let me see. Jerron was on the other side. Brownsville was on the other side. Either man, I think you was on the other side. You were very conservative back then. You was on
Queen,
Uh,
I wasn't, and we can go back and pull the show up, but I definitely wasn't on the other side. What I
Yeah, definitely
said,
not.
and the reason why I brought up the jury selection process is because if you remember, and I'm sure probably Queen PH Diva, she probably remembers this. What I said initially was this case is going to be decided by the jury selection process. That's
Yeah,
specifically what I said.
you did say that.
And
You
I,
did
and I
say that.
said we need to get more information before we can, make an informed conclusion of what happened. But I understand how much we are underrepresented when it comes to, the whole jury trial process. And makes it very difficult for us to find grace and mercy and compassion with people who don't identify with us. They don't look at our children as children. And that's the biggest issue. So no, I was never on the other side. But I try to look at all of these kind of situations from an impartial view, but also understanding certain things that will, lead to an unfavorable outcome when it comes to our people.
No, I like that. I like that. Yeah, but they did give us some information that we now know isn't exactly true. They made it to where he shouldn't have been there. He had a knife. He shouldn't have been on that side. You know what I mean? And so I know that they framed it, but they did have a lot of people who was like, "Nah, he's guilty."
I,
well, and I think the